Hey, MVP here. Hope you had a good trading week. I'm going to talk about the weekend in the 10th of June. I'm going to talk about my system, which everyone must be pretty aware of now at Trade to Win. Go to Trade to Win and find me there on the Forex under MVP, and just give you an idea of what happened during the week. Just wanted to take this opportunity to say a big hey there to Mags out in the US, out of New York. Mags has been feeling pretty poorly recently, so just want to make sure we're all thinking about you, Mags, and I hope you're feeling better soon. But keep posting on the thread. I enjoy our exchanges. Okay, let's get down to business. The middle chart you can see there is a 1 hour chart. It's set on an FXcorrelator 500 MA setting. That means that it gives me much more of an accurate description of how prices are moving up and down. If the lines are going down, the currency's falling. If the lines are going up, they're rising. It's just a little bit less distorted than the 20 moving averages and the 80 moving averages, and we'll look at those in a minute. So let's see the winners and the losers during the week, shall we? First of all, let's start with the winners. Okay, can you see those four currencies there? They're much more in bold now. These were what I perceived to be the winners during the week. Okay, how do I know if a currency has risen during the week? Well, using the 500 setting on a very simple short sprint like the 1 hour here, if if the currency ends up at this end of the 5 days higher than it starts, then it's a winner. It's gone up. So let's drag this down and give you an example. So here's the turquoise New Zealand dollar. Here's the start of the week. You see, you can always tell that on a 1 hour from the, if you do the period separators, the double band there that shows you that that's that brief interim period on the Sunday night when things start warming up out over in the Asian session. You come into early hours of the Asian session there on the Monday. And if you look here, you see you draw a line here, horizontal line. You come to the end. Look at that. So it's gone up in price. Okay, it may have wavered around here through to the midweek, but it's certainly made money in the back end of the week. If I just use that and cheat a little bit, drag that down to the start here of, say, the US dollar session. As you can see, that's the US opening up. Again, waver, but look, it made money. Okay, and just to give you a contrast on that, if we go, say, here, and if you look at the blue line here, doing very well there. That's where it started, the euro, but look at it, it's way down here. And we'll talk about the euro in a minute. So that's how I understand and communicate what are the winners and what are the losers. Okay, so let me just get rid of that line, and let's just talk about the four currencies concerned. Okay, I'm going to keep this fairly simple. First of all, I'm going to talk about the yellow yen and the green US dollar. You know they're the ones I'm fixated with. I use these a lot within my trading systems. I follow these guys. I call them the tag team because they run together like a kind of tag wrestling team. They're always fighting against the others. This week they both finished upwards, marginally upwards. Why? I think there was actually because there was a lot of activity, aggressive selling activity on a few of the other currencies, to be honest, in the weekend. It's a zero-sum game trading. So if other currencies are being hit hard through various reasons, the other currencies, the opposing currencies, are clearly going to rise because they've got the opportunity to rise. I think that was the reason. The other reason, if you look across here to the right, this is the 1 hour US 30. This is something I apologize. I know that my US colleagues can't get this up on the same chart on MetaTrader 4 platforms, but here it is, bold as brass on the UK systems. Grey line there, you see it starts in the week here and you see it falls. It was a net fall during the week, and again that would have contributed to it. People unloading their carry trades where they would have, you buy the Dow and therefore you can sell the US dollar and the yen. In this case, people were unloading, they were selling Dow, so therefore they were picking up those currencies in a risk trade. So I think that's the main reason. Just moving on quickly to, for example, the turquoise here, New Zealand dollar. Interestingly, it didn't match with its twin sister or twin brother, the Aussie D down here in orange. Aussie D had a poor week, actually, a very poor week, but the New Zealand dollar did very well second half of the week. Why did it do that? Do you know what? I'm still struggling with that one. Clearly, if people are more expert on the Asian markets, but it was strong. It was strong. I mean, I can see here, if you look across here on the right, this is Thursday Dow. Now, Thursday Dow, the Dow was very aggressive and very bullish, had a good run during the day, and that would support high-yielding currencies like this currency here. And you can see down here, it's a bit hidden by the CAD here, but the Aussie dollar also had a good day on Thursday, but it kept going. It kept going. A really good Friday. And as you can see, there was no reason. Dow really got hammered back end of the session as we went into the end of the week. So I don't know. Just a very good response week for the New Zealand dollar. Last but not least is the CAD. Okay, again, you can see the CAD actually had a very good week. Look at it. It starts off here. It has a good Monday. good Tuesday, flat Wednesday, good Thursday, good Friday. That's 4 out of 5. That's a great week. Why? Well, that's a very good question. Let's have a quick look at crude oil and see whether that helps. Now, I've just pulled up an oil chart there, general oil chart. I'm not exactly sure if that's Western, Texan Intermediate, or Brent. I have no idea, to be honest. I don't follow the oil charts that much. I'm just trying to get an indication. This is the start of the week, fairly flat. Good 8th and 9th, good Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was a disaster. Perhaps it tracked him, but people say that the COMDOLs, the commodity dollar, especially the CAD tracks closely with oil. I'm not convinced, to be honest. I think that this was a combination of the fact that I personally think that the CAD tracks very closely to US dollar, in all honesty, and I think despite the fact that crude oil took a real hit on Friday, you see it coming off its highs of about 102, 102.50. I think the CAD just preferred to stick closer to these two guys. Okay, they're part of a team. I talk about my teams. There's two lots of teams within the 8 currencies that I track here. The CAD, the US dollar, the yen, and the grey Swissy, I call them one team. I call them a team that generally tends to trend together, and thereby, by definition, the other 4 currencies will also tend to track in the opposite way. It's just one of the things I talk about on my thread. So again, I think that's why I think it was a combination of fairly strong oil prices in the early part of the week, which is why it probably did better than its counterparts, and then it decided to oppose oil and follow its guys. It's a very fickle market, currencies. We all know it's a fickle market. You just have to go with the flow sometimes. So they're my 4 that did well this week. If you bought all of those and sold the others, my God, you'd now be sitting there having really patting yourself on the back. Okay, we're running out of time here, so I'm going to run through this very quickly. These are the other 4 currencies. So we saw the winners. Now let's look at the losers and the flat currencies. Very quickly, Euro was the story of the week. My God, what's going on in Europe? Everyone's bailing people out, not bailing people out. Crazy situation. Trichet actually said that he would be raising interest rates, not this month, but in the following months. But you know what? The market didn't care. It doesn't like the euro. So it was expecting him to say that. He said it. They said big deal, and they sold. They're worried. They're worried about the way that there's a breakup and the fact that the Greek debt could be a virus that could spread through the currency. And as you can see from Wednesday, boy oh boy, it just collapsed. And that really was a signal there, selling of that currency, the European euro. Actually, the pound never had a good week either. It started to struggle towards the back end of the week again. A few bits of news here and there. Moody's, one of the credit agencies, gave it a bit of wagged its finger at the sterling, so that didn't help. So you've got 2 European currencies falling there, and that really does, as we said, that tends to kick in, and the money has to go elsewhere. Money has to follow. It can't go anywhere. It's a zero-sum game. It's got to go somewhere else, and it went to some of the other currencies we've already talked about. Last 2, let's talk about the Swissy. The Swissy is a very chameleon as a currency. I find it a schizophrenic currency. It will quite happily, obviously, follow the yen and the US dollar as risk trades, but sometimes it will suddenly decide it's a European currency and follow its European friends. This week, it generally fell, mixed bag. It wasn't the currency to be following this week. As I say, it's a bit schizophrenic. I've not much else to say on the Swissy, apart from generally it has been a very strong currency this year, so don't ever write it off. Last but not least, the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar having a tough time at the moment. Okay, the Aussie Bank didn't raise interest rates earlier on in the week. It just held, and clearly people lost a little bit of confidence there on that. Obviously off a falling Dow as well. That was a bad part of the week. It rallied a little bit second half, but not as much as its mate, its good old Aussie mate, the Kiwi. But again, it finished off fairly well, but it still fell during the week. You see the start there, the end there? So it fell. So they're the 8 currencies. Now we're going to very quickly talk about how I trade them using my 80-20 system. Okay, I've now got the 80 FXcorrelator and the 20 FXcorrelator up for the week on a 1 hour, and I've still got my Dow chart on the right. I'm going to show you with the X's where there were potential trades this week and whether you could have taken signals, and that'll be then at the end of the video. Okay, trading position 1 there. We had all the currencies below the line, yen and dollar below the line, but unfortunately this was off the back of a rising Dow that hadn't quite cracked the 80. That was a trade where virtually all the signals were there, but it wasn't a pure trade. I needed the Dow to be up here. So from a purist point of view, no trade. Okay, moving on to Wednesday. Here we see the guys going north. The guy's already north on the 20, so at this point here where the X is, that's where it goes. I'm going to show you here. You see the X here? You see how the Dow is comfortably below the 20 and the 80? That's a trade situation. Buy those 2 currencies, sell whatever is below the line, and there are a few there on offer. Okay? Okay, into Thursday. A little pop-up trade. You see how it pops up here? The guys go north again, go north again. I tell you what the problem is. The problem is that by now the Dow is going very much north, and that's opposing the trade. So that is no trade, unfortunately, even though the signals were beautiful on the tag team. And then just to finish the week on a high, can you see here the Dow collapses as we come into the US session? And guess what? Our tag team anticipate that. You see them both above the line. That is buy US dollar and yen all day, sell the other currencies all day. And it was a nice end to the week. Okay, this is MVP signing off. Have a great trading week. All the best. Bye.